If you've clicked on this video, chances are you're in a position where you want to quit your current job and go after your dreams, or to pursue another job that is more authentically to yourself. But before we get into that, my name's Robbo. This channel is called Robo.Lives. If you are new around here, please make sure to smash the subscribe button and like the video. It really helps out the channel. And let's get into the PowerPoint. Okay, first slide is going to be, you need to have a rough plan or an idea in your head of what it is that you actually want to do. Now, it can be very, very difficult to actually figure out what in life you want to do. We're sort of not taught in school to think of what we actually want to do. We're sort of pushed towards a certain thing that we think will be good for a career, or that we think they'll earn good money, but in reality, is it actually what we actually really want? I don't feel like when we were younger, we were necessarily given enough time to think this through, and this can actually be a really hard thing to think about. So you need to have an idea of what you would like to do if it's not your current job or the current thing that you're currently doing. It could be another job, it could be what you've always wanted to do, it could be you want to go traveling maybe. It could be anything that you want to do, but you need to have an idea. Once you have an idea, you'll know in your mind what you need to aim for in order to make that happen. If you're in a plane, the plane needs to have a destination. Otherwise, you're going to be zooming around the sky, okay? Same as a ship. If you get in a ship and the captain says, where to? You need to tell him where the ship's going to sail to. Otherwise, the ship will just be meandering around the ocean randomly. You need to have a destination so that you can get on that journey to where you want to be. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And subconsciously, your mind will find a way to make it happen and allow you to take actual steps towards it. Have a sit down and think, what are your dreams? Don't be afraid of your dreams either. Me, for example, I'm now acting full time, and that was always my dream. And I got put off of my dream. I was going to go to university to study acting, to study film, and I decided not to because I was watching a comedy show and they laughed and making jokes about drama degree. And it got me thinking kind of thing like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I won't be able to do anything with the drama degree. Maybe I'll just end up doing nothing. And I listened to them, when in reality, I should have listened to them. I should have gone after what I wanted to actually do with my life. Instead, I didn't, and I chose another degree because I thought that this degree would give me sort of a safe job. It would allow me to sort of have a career, to have a stable income, these kind of things. And it did, to an extent, do that. But was I happy? No. So I got 5 years down a path that I absolutely hated in the corporate world, and it took me all that time to then undo my mistake. But in a way, I'm glad it happened now because it allowed me to become the person that I am. So the moral of that story is, don't be afraid of your dreams, okay? It can be anything that you want to be in this world. You can do anything that you want to be. I'm not saying that I'll be the next Leonardo DiCaprio, but what I can certainly do is work on a film with him. And your dream doesn't have to be something wild. It doesn't have to be you want to be an actor or a footballer. It can be anything that you literally want it to be. It could be anything that you want your dream job to be. For example, I met a guy the other day and I asked him what his dream was, and all he said was, I just want to tinker with cars. I just want to play around with cars, fix cars here and there, and sort of race them in my spare time. And I'm thinking, that's 100% achievable for anyone to do. And that's his passion. That's what it has to be. It has to be your passion. It has to be something that you love. You shouldn't just be doing it for the money. It has to be something that you want to go after. And something like that is definitely achievable. And anything in reality that you put your mind to is actually achievable. Okay, once you have a rough plan, the next thing you need to do is just get started. Just get started. It's really, really as simple as that. If you have a passion that you like to do or a dream job, then start researching how you can start doing that thing. For me personally, I researched casting agencies and started doing acting jobs for free in my spare time to build up my portfolio. So this is one example of what I did. But I basically researched casting agencies, and then I worked on student films and whatnot. So no one wanted to be an actor, no one wanted to get into the acting industry, but I had no idea how. So I just done my research. How do other people do this? How do they do X, Y, and Z? Another thing that I did is I started doing other side hustles. So I run a dog park as well as everything else I'm doing in my life, and I got onto the dog park because I used what I had. Had a bit of land that my family wasn't using and decided to turn it into that, really, because after a conversation with my sister, because she went to a dog park, so I kind of got on the idea and I thought, okay, that could be good. So again, I researched that, and it took me ages to research it, but once you get started, once you dip your toes in the water, you start learning, you start peeling off the layers of the onion. You need to be prepared as well to do stuff for free. So you have to be prepared to do this. When I first started acting, I used to do stuff for free all the time. Still sometimes do, to be honest with you. I'm working on a short film in a couple of weeks with some guys that I've worked with before. You have to be prepared to do that. Also, with my business, I invested my own money and worked for free to start with in order to get my business off the ground. I didn't know if it was going to work at all. I just had to believe in myself and believe in the investment and had to be willing to take that risk in order to progress, and turned out it worked. You also need to accept there isn't going to be a quick fix, and it can take some time for you to move yourself if you have other commitments in your life, or if you want to have the money, if you want to keep money coming in. It took me 5 years of hard work to get to where I am, and I'm still very much in the building process. But I'm now acting full time. I have my business and I have 2 other revenue streams. Okay, I worked hard for these things. I've failed at many things and I've also been successful. I am definitely not where I want to be. I'm not the finished article, but I was in a job that I absolutely hated, a 9-to-5 job which literally crushed my soul, and it was very good money, to be honest with you, but I decided to leave that because I wanted to go after my dreams and live authentically. And how did I do that? By literally doing all of these steps. That's how I know what I'm talking about. I had to get myself into a position where I started researching about what I wanted to do, and I started doing that on the side, okay? I started doing that in my free time. I was prepared to give up my weekends, give up my evenings, all these kind of things, take risks and do stuff for free in order to start doing the other thing that I really, really wanted to do. So that brings me on to my next point, which is you need to be smart, but also take risks. So try to get another income on the side so you aren't solely relying on your main job at the moment. You need to be able to do this as well as your current job. So you can ask your friends, your family, look about for smaller jobs like little side hustles. It's good as much as cutting the grass, all right? Anything that's going to get extra money coming in, and this ultimately going to allow you to kind of get to a position where you don't have to rely on that main income source anymore. For example, in my position, I did a lot of stuff like garden maintenance, cleaning windows, washing cars, anything I could do for like money. Do you know what I mean? Anything you can do. Once you build up these little side hustles, you can then have enough money to sustain you, to allow you to quit your job. And it helps as well if you actually don't mind doing these kind of things. The other jobs that I've enjoyed doing I've enjoyed doing them. Okay, they might have been outside, they've been outside, I get to talk to people more regularly, and they're quite flexible hours because I'm sort of doing it off my own back. So doing this kind of a thing can be more beneficial for you, and you have to be prepared to do that on the side whilst your main job is still kind of going. With that in mind, stack some cash. You need to start saving more and spending less. You need to get an emergency fund. An emergency fund is an amount of money you can live off for 3 to 4 months at least if you were to leave your job with nothing else lined up. But I wouldn't ultimately recommend that, okay? I wouldn't recommend that you do leave your job with nothing else lined up. You need to have an idea of something of where you're aiming to and try as best as you can to get them to a position where you can take the leap of faith. But ultimately, it's going to be very difficult for you to get to a position where you have everything lined up. For me, for example, mine got to a position where I sort of had to choose. It was like 4 or 5 years. And with my job in particular, I can't talk too much about it in this particular video, but I had the option then to choose. It was like neck and neck, and then I just had to go for it, okay? I had to choose between them, and I got my other side hustles and my business up to a position where I was capable of doing this, so I didn't have to worry as much about that main income source anymore. So I worked my way into that position. But ultimately, it's never going to be the right time to do anything, and you have to have that in your mind and consider that when you make your decision. You need to take risks, okay? You need to take risks with your current job. What do I mean by this? I mean, you need to do just enough to not get fired and use the time at your work to focus on your goals. I used to cram all of my work into short amount of time, and then in the other amount of time I had, I would focus on myself. Why? Because your job, 9 to 5, they don't really care about you. You're just a name, just a number. If you were to quit, they get someone new in the next day, or they put an advert up for you, okay? That's all you are to them. You have to remember that, and you have to put yourself forward and put yourself first above them, okay? Believe in yourself and work like hell. Believe that you can achieve anything that you want to. Believe wholeheartedly that you can have everything you ever wanted for your life. If others have achieved their dreams, why can't you? You need to have that mindset. Work like hell. Be prepared to do things others wouldn't, and that's how you get what they don't have, okay? I've got up at ridiculous times to go and check my field, okay, before the first people come there for their session. I've been prepared to work in the rain. I've worked in the snow fencing when I first got my business going. I worked in the snow, it was freezing cold and chucking it down with rain, but I was out there working because I knew that the closer and the sooner I got this task done, it meant I could get closer to where I want to be. This video right now, for example, I've been at work all day, okay, and then I've came home and I've gone for a run in the pouring rain, and then I've spent the afternoon baking dog treats for another side hustle that I'm attempting to start, okay? And now it is 8:15 at night and I'm recording this YouTube video. Why? Because I'm prepared to work like hell. I'm prepared to do things that others aren't prepared to do. And that's the mindset that you have to have in this life. You have to be prepared to outwork the other people, okay? There are going to be other people like you in the world. You're watching this video right now, you're going to be like me, okay? You've got that mindset. You want to be better. You want to be the best. You want to have the finer things in life. You want that life for yourself where you don't have to listen to orders from someone else, okay? You want to be your own man. You want to be your own person, your individual, whatever it's going to be. So you have to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do, okay? This is a big one. Don't worry about what others think of you. People have thought lots of successful people were mad until they made it, okay? Just saying. And to conclude with this video, don't be afraid to fail. You need to accept that sometimes you have to take 2 steps back to go 1 forward. Me, for example, I've left a job which was paying me a very, very healthy, handsome salary. And sometimes I didn't even have to do that much in order to get it. But I absolutely hated it. Drained my soul, okay? And I also knew the ceiling as well. My salary was a paying paycheck coming in every single month, right? And I got used to that. It was like a drug, okay? But I took risk to go 2 steps backwards to temporarily drop my income in order to go 2 steps forward, okay? Since I've left that job, I've started getting more acting opportunities, okay? I'm increasing the revenue on my business. I'm able to put myself fully into other things that I want to do. And I'm ultimately happier, so I'm living more authentically to myself. I'm going after my dreams. And you have to be prepared to do the same. You also need to know that if it was all to fail, you can simply get another job, okay? It really isn't as big of a deal as you think it is. Our minds make things out to be such a big deal because we're creatures of survival. Our brain just wants us to survive. That's all it wants, okay? Just wants to survive. That's why we eat, that's why we sleep, that's why we do all these things. Your brain's just trying to keep you out of trouble. So your brain will start sending you signals of things like, we should stay in this job because we're getting X, Y, and Z every month, okay? But in reality, you've already got this job. You got this job that you hate. So guess what? If it all fails, you can get another job. Okay, it's just a job. You can literally get another job. So don't worry about it and just go after it. And you need to believe that money will come back to you. Don't get stuck in golden handcuffs, okay? That's the position that I found myself in, and I had to break free from the golden handcuffs and just go after it, okay? People may call me crazy. They might think, why on earth are you doing that? I'll tell you why. It's because I believe in myself wholeheartedly that I can be a millionaire and I can achieve everything in my life that I want to achieve. In order to do that, I had to believe in myself and had to go after it. The struggle is part of the story, okay? No one who's ever made it, ever said it was easy, okay? That's all part of the story. So that's it, guys. That's it for this particular video. I hope you can take from this some practical steps in order to quit your 9 to 5 and go after your dream life, or to live more authentically to yourself, or ultimately both. You can do anything that you put your mind to, okay? Everyone in this life can, if they just truly are able to put their mind to it, to work hard, be prepared to do what others aren't prepared to do, and they can get there. If you've got any other questions, please drop them in the comments section down below. I'm going to be bringing out loads more videos on similar topics, sharing my experiences, what I've learned and what I've done right, and everything basically. Anything I can help you with, guys, I will do it. As I said, guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're pushing for 100 subs at the timing of this video. Like the video as well, really helps out the channel, and we'll see you next time for another one. Peace.